Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. I just got a huge package in the mail. And so I want to show you guys what's in there. I'm a little upset because UPS damaged this thing pretty badly. It has fragile written all over it. And they just throw it around like with nothing. And it's all scraped up and stuff, but I think it's just scraped up in small little parts that I can see that protruded outside the box. Maybe I can, paint over it with like, I don't know, Sharpie or something like that, just something black. But yeah, let me show you guys what it is. Hopefully the damage isn't too extensive. So just cut it open, just take a look. Okay. See, it's a lot of bubble wrap, but I guess the bubble wrap, obviously it kept this thing from moving around, but it didn't protect like the super sharp pieces from being able to go through. I don't know. All right, let's pull it out. All right, so yeah, see, those pieces went through. Let's pull this thing out. Okay, which piece needs to come out first? Can this piece come out first? Okay, this piece can come out first. Oh, almost dropped it. Okay. Oh, okay, sorry. I don't want to bend anything. Okay, you can hear it's metal at least. See, this is like one of the pieces that went through. That's okay. It's not too bad. Alright, so that went through. Yeah, see, it's like a little like chipped up, but I guess it's nothing. It's nothing too bad. So, all right, so check it out. Look at how awesome this diffuser looks. So this is from Difflow, and I saw it on an actual like tracked Corvette at a show, and I fell in love. This thing is awesome. Just look at that. And then hopefully they show up. Yeah, so. Oh, look at that. Look how gnarly that is. It's awesome. So it bolts up to the sides, and then there's one channel, and then like the exhaust and everything would be like right there. And then this covers the whole bottom of the exhaust, which is absolutely amazing because most of them just kind of like cut off right here, just for looks and stuff. But this one actually covers the mufflers entirely. So it really does channel all the air out from underneath your vehicle, and it channels it out like correctly for that matter. But that's pretty cool too, right there. I love decals and stuff, so just the fact that that's exposed right there is really dope. But yeah, that is awesome. Oh, another thing too. As I order stuff for the car, I learn. Sorry if I look sweaty. It's just because I got home from the gym. Sorry. But as I do research on the car and I order stuff, I learn what they do. And so for that matter, I didn't know like most diffusers like on the market for the Corvette are just kind of like for looks. They don't really work. And so all actual like race car drivers say like the diffuser fins have to be like super thin in order for them to really like be the most efficient and stuff, and you'll see a lot of bulky diffusers for the Corvette and stuff, and they just got really fat fins, and just the shape of them and stuff, they're not really, yeah, okay, you could argue that they do something, but they're not really meant for like hardcore like track enthusiasts. This one actually is, and they've got even a more hardcore version of this with bigger fins, and it's got a cutout for the rear tow hook. I didn't go with all that, not to mention like me going up the driveway. Since my driveway is like this, I am terrified that I'm already going to be scraping up these, hopefully I do not scrape up these the fins. But the other one that's extended further down below the car, yeah, right, like going up my driveway, which is literally like at this 45-degree angle, no way. I would probably be backing the car up over the ramps and stuff, and that thing would just grind against the concrete, and that's the last thing I want to do. But let me show you where all the little like blemishes are from the transporting and all that, blah blah. I hate you. Like little imperfections like this. Okay, it doesn't look like this like got scraped up or anything. I think this is just like, just not. It just didn't really get painted or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned with that. I can, you know what? I'm going to use a Sharpie right there. And I'm just going to line it up. But this one right here really bothers me. I'm just venting to you guys. Please don't judge too harshly. Sorry, I'm laying on the floor. I'm so tired. Okay, so like right there, like that's gonna, like, if you're drying the car and everything, I'm gonna be scraping up my chamois towels and stuff. So I'm gonna sand that down right here on the edge, and then it'll be smooth, and then I'll touch it up again with like a Sharpie. But this thing weighs absolutely nothing. You saw me taking out each piece or whatever like that. It's nothing. It's just aluminum. I love that. And I guess you could argue, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you're complaining about these little pieces right here. Miguel, race car, bro. You know, like, that's going to happen. However, you guys know me, and I love building a race car. Doesn't mean I like doing the actual race car stuff. So for that matter, yeah, I mean, it looks, you know, like, that would be way too much of a poser if I was like, oh yeah, it's damaged, dude, because of, like, you know, race car stuff. And they'd be like, oh really? Like, where'd you damage it? What track did you damage it at? I'd be like, backing out my driveway. So I don't really want to do that. And I want to explain it like that, you know? So for that matter, I'm just going to, you know, try to make it look like new. And then that way I'll pretend like none of this ever happened. This piece, right. Okay, I can't really. Just don't want to. What if my foot just went right through? Oh my gosh, don't even joke like that. All right, so this piece right here, like, bolts up right there in those slits. It's got you see little bolts right there in the nuts and washer and stuff, blah blah. Okay, so it goes there. I know exactly where this bolts up. I saw it in the video. I don't know how to describe it, but it's behind the mufflers. Or I guess you would say, if you're talking about from front to back, like, if the mufflers are right here, it's before the mufflers. I'm sorry. Okay, so it would be before the mufflers, and then that's where it holds it here. And so that's why I'm saying, like, if it's before the mufflers, like, this is really being tucked in, and so that way it's channeling the air out. But then this other piece, sorry, I'm not an old man, I swear. Okay, and this piece bolts right there. And you guys know where this location is on the mufflers. Well, if you have a Corvette, I'm sorry. Some people who don't have a Corvette might be watching this video. Like, you know where there's that bracket in between the two mufflers, like where it holds the mufflers together. So then that way, I guess they're like almost like one unit. So then that way they don't like sway away from each other or whatever like that, you know? That's exactly where this thing bolts up. And then, you know, it's got the bolt with the washer and nut, and then you put it there. And that's what holds it up. And so this thing should be... Oh, God, I'm already hitting it. This thing should be pretty flat along the rear bumper and stuff. Like, it should, like, be real tucked in right up against the paint and everything. I saw it when I saw it on my actual race car Corvette. It was kind of like warped and everything. I would assume to the guy probably being on the track, and maybe either he lost it and then he rebolted it like onto the vehicle, you know, reattached it, I guess, or, you know, just like just heat, like immense heat from the exhaust, you know, could have warped the bottom, like the under tray or whatever like that, you know, and started sagging a little bit or whatever. Either way, I'm not saying that was a bad thing. I think that's actually pretty cool, that it goes to show, like, the guy isn't just building a show car, like, he actually pushes that vehicle. And not to mention, I mean, the guy turned on the car later in the show, and that was a lot of sound coming from underneath the hood. He didn't pop the hood, but this guy he definitely means business. He wasn't just, like, showboating like somebody who we all know. All right. Time to file away at that little corner that I just told you about right there. One of these. I don't know anything about filing. I always just use one that just, like, catches the corner real quick and then just sands it down. So, all right, let's get to it. Okay, slim taper file. Next to do the trick. All right, it's already working. All right, let me put this down for a second. Let me actually do this, and then I'll pick it up. Well, that worked. So I was able to file it down. Now at least it's nice and smooth. It won't hurt or anything like that. It won't cut me or anything. So that just needs to be touched up. And then just these corners need to be touched up here. And then right there. And right here as well. So just small little things like that. But yeah, so all these exposed parts I definitely want to do. I also noticed, because this is the piece that I guess was hitting, it also bent it. So you see how it curves up right there? Try to bend that, flex it back a little bit. See if I can do that without damaging this, because the other side, look, it's nice and flat. So I gotta, see, you can even see that angle right there. Like that's bent right there on that corner. So I'll see what I can do. I was able to flatten it out. So nice and flat. See, nice and flat. I did create a couple new markings. I used the pliers to like bend it back. And you know, I put this in between, but I guess that, you know, obviously this thing still bit down through it, so created a little bit of a mark. So I sanded it down a little bit, so that's why it's a little exposed, whatever. And then I created a couple teeth marks right there. It is what it is. I mean, you know, sorry, I'm being overcritical, but yeah, so it worked. I mean, it's pretty flat again, so that's a lot less noticeable than what it was. So I'm happy. All right, now on to the next part. I'm just gonna start touching everything up. It actually comes out pretty good. I already started touching up this piece right here. See, it's like now more black. You can still see kind of through it or whatever, but this idea is thanks to my buddy Scott, and it actually really works. So you just add a couple layers of this or whatever, and then it's not really noticeable. Like here, let's check this one out right here. Can I zoom in on that? This thing does not zoom in well on corners. Let's try. See? Totally got rid of it. Boom. There you go. It's a lot better. See, better example. So like, remember when that was all like that bare metal color? Now, every time I put my finger there, it like focuses. So, but yeah, now you can't really, see it. Like it looks really good. It's just nice and black. And this is black. So, all right, done. So you know what just occurred to me? So after all that stuff was said and done and everything, blah, 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 you know, and I'm being overly critical with like little like blemishes and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, crybaby and stuff like that. Yeah, right. Well, here's the thing. Obviously those brackets have to be attached, and so if those brackets are going to be attached, then they're probably going to scrape up the coating on here. Granted, that's under the car, so it doesn't really matter, but I mean, this thing will probably have to come off at some point, like at the shop, if we got to do, I don't know, maintenance, anything, right? Like if I want to change something on the rear bumper and it's got to come off or something, or let's say I want to do some exhaust work or something, we'll have to take this thing off anyways. And so you're going to set it down, right? Or if I'm not there, I mean, you know, my friends will set it down somewhere. Obviously they'll do their best to like keep it, but you know, like maybe the fins will like scrape up on the floor or something like that. I mean, it's inevitable, right? It's life happens. It might even get chiseled up driving. It probably actually will. I'm almost certain it probably will. Like, yeah, the fins and everything and stuff, you know, like they'll probably get like rock chips and whatnot and stuff. So that was just me being overcritical, and now I feel silly for being that way, you know, because life happens. Life is going to be thrown at this thing, and then, you know, like a little ding here, a little ding there, a little scrape, blah, blah, blah. But whatever. All right, I'm happy as long as it's primarily all black. So I need to get this thing installed. I don't think I can do it by myself, though, because I got to lift the car up, and I just don't have the room in my garage. So I'm going to have to get this thing installed at the shop. So we will go ahead and do that, and then I'll pick the video back up as soon as we're there. Hey, all right, so finally gonna get a few parts installed. I'm really excited. However, what just took away all that excitement was the fact that all of a sudden there was like a giant monsoon that came down, and coincidentally it had to be on the day that I'm heading to the shop. Like, I had to wait for the rain to end and stuff like that. So you'll probably notice that this clip and then the very next clip are probably going to be in 2 separate videos because I'm filming 2 installs like simultaneously. So just, you know, I just don't want to weird you guys out or whatever like that. It's just I'm filming on the same day and whatnot, so why not just use the same clip to transition to the actual different, you know, parts of the videos, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I gotta get back to weather mode in this thing. I don't know if it's because I got the transmission tune or if I got the performance tune or something, because you would think it's limiting my power, and it doesn't really feel like it's limiting my power. I'm hoping, like, you know, in this mode right here with it being super rainy and everything, like it'll help stabilize the vehicle and whatnot. But I mean, I'm just gonna go really slow. My anxiety is really up because I hate driving this thing in the rain. Oh, and also I just noticed I'm literally like almost out of gas, and so that light's probably gonna come on any second now, and that really freaks me out because I you know, like, this thing burns through gasoline like, oh my gosh, it just consumes it. So hopefully I can get there, we can get this done, and then I can just fill up with gas on my way home. On the plus side of things, I'm hitting basically school after school after school, so I mean, it's like 30 miles an hour the whole way. Unfortunately though, like, this is obviously gonna make me later than I am. I called them, but you know, I feel bad. I hate not being on time, especially like when it's my friends and whatnot. You know, they did me a favor of squeezing me in. But I mean, what can I do, man? It was pouring rain. I had to wait a little bit or whatever. And then not just that, but now there's so much traffic because all the schools let out and everything. So yeah, good because I can go really slow, but then bad because I'm not gonna get there anytime sooner. So just, I gotta pee again. Crap. All right, I made it. I live 7 minutes away, you guys, and it took me 40 minutes to get here. That's bumper to bumper traffic in my area starts at like 2 o'clock. And so, you know, rush hour is not from like, you know, 5 to 7 or whatever. It's like from 2 to 8. And so that was horrible. So I have to apologize to my friends, you know. I would have been here a lot sooner if I could. However, on the plus side, a bunch of kids pulled up next to me, and they were like, hey. I was like, what, man? And so they were like, yo, I just subscribed, dude. I was like, that's what's up. So thank you so much for that. Really cool kids, by the way. Like elementary school kids, but, you know, just really nice. Really, really cool to be able to converse with them for a second. I didn't put my window down just because I was being really anal with the car, and I didn't want to get the window like dirty going up and down and stuff like that. But I said thank you and everything, you know. So I hope, you know, if you guys are watching this video, I hope you see that I'm being sincere, and I would have loved to chat with you sooner if that light hadn't turned green. But anyways, all right, let's get to the installs. Yeah, all right, so let's try this again. It's a totally new day. I dropped off the car last night. We weren't able to work on it because, dude, everybody was just slammed here. So no problem, just left it here, then went back home, and now next day, and so now we have time to finally get to it. I brought some spray bottles and everything, blah blah blah, so I can just wipe down the areas really quick and stuff, since it was pouring rain yesterday. It's all like grimy and stuff like that. But yeah, so finally now I get to work with Sean, and we can do it together, and so that'll be pretty cool. Like, I actually get to install my part, you know. Oh, another little tidbit. So I was editing the footage before this clip right here, right? And so when I was talking in the vehicle, did you guys notice how the supercharger was whining? So like, I closed the valves on the exhaust, just because if I'm already in weather mode and stuff like that, why am I gonna have such a ridiculously loud exhaust when I'm just like creeping, you know? So anyways, I closed it down and stuff like that. But then I realized it was just whining so loudly, and then it picked up on the camera, which was awesome. So, and that was at 2,600 RPMs. Like, I didn't go past 2,600 RPM, so I can only imagine what it's gonna sound like when I really rip into it, and I haven't yet. But yeah, I should film that. But anyways, all right, so let's get to the install. Why couldn't it have been like this yesterday when I had to drop off the car? Like, seriously, it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous today. And this is exactly like the definition of Corvette weather. And all of a sudden I had to go through hell to just drop off the car. It's just frustrating. All right, so they're in a meeting, so I'm gonna get started on some of the basic stuff. I'm just gonna install the brackets real quick, or at least attempt to. And my good friend Henry is actually letting me borrow his Snap-on tools. First time me using Snap-on tools. Obviously these are like absolutely amazing, and they're like worth like gold. So I promised him I would put everything back exactly where it is, and I wouldn't leave a mark on it or anything. So you have my word, I'm doing that. And yeah, I gotta get this right there off, and then the one on the other side. So I'll do that right now. These were definitely a pain. Like for you to be able to get this in there, it barely goes in, and then that way you're already hitting these two sides. So you had to ratchet it out little by little. There's no way you could get a socket in there and stuff, you know. So okay, those are out, and now I'm just working on. Got the first one out, and we got to get that out. So then that way the front bracket can be here, and then the rear bracket can be here, and then that way we'll go from there. Ugh. Okay, this is a pretty straightforward install. You're gonna need two people though. Like I couldn't do this by myself. Like Sean definitely had to help me like hold this up while one of us is screwing things in or whatever, because it's too awkward. But anyways, okay, so these four main bolts and nuts and bolts that are holding it up, you're gonna have to Dremel out a little bit because it's too tight of a fit. So you definitely are gonna have to Dremel out a little bit for the actual bolt to fit through nicely. So that, keep that in mind. These are really easy to put on. Allen key on one side, and then you just use a socket on the other side. And then right here, 3 out of the 4 holes will line up, so that's fine. None of these will line up. So either you can drill new holes or just see if it holds on its own. Okay, so we got it on. A few little finishing touches, but look at that. That is awesome. All right, so what we got to do left is we're going to use self-tapping screws right here, because obviously they didn't line up with the hole, so we're just going to use self-tapping screws there, right there, and right there, because they don't line up. So that can easily be fixed. But everything else lined up very nicely, and it's nice that you can adjust this piece top to bottom, so you can see. So we kind of raised it up a little bit, just so that now it's tucked in just a tad bit, just not enough to scratch up the paint and everything. And so, yeah, works out beautifully. And that's that. It was pretty straightforward. So check this thing out. Oh my gosh, let me zoom in on this. Look at that. Oh, that is so nice. Look at that. The craftsmanship on this thing is amazing. So everything, so nice, snug. All these are nice and tightened up. So you can go higher up if you want to, just based on the adjustability in there, or you can drop it down a little bit. I like that. That's fine for me. And all that snug and everything, and then that is so awesome. I love that. That just goes perfectly. That. Oh, I love this. All right, well, we are gonna close up shop and stuff, and I will pick this up as soon as I get home. All right, I'm home. It's like 4 hours later. It's like 1 a.m. now. Got home, and then there was so much to do that I wasn't able to just pick up and finish the video. But yeah, all right. I am so thrilled with that diffuser. Like, it came out so good. It came out, well, I mean, it is what it is, what I'm about to say. But it came out better on my car than when I saw it on the other Corvette. It flows so well with like my entire setup. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to like film this thing out in the sun and everything, I'm in love with it. I am absolutely in love with it. Like, coolest thing ever. And you know what's awesome? Every single part that I keep installing, it's my new favorite part or whatever, which means I'm always scared of that. Like, I'm going to install something and I'm going to be like, yeah, like, that's cool. I thought it'd be cooler or whatever. But no, like, I'm actually like super surprised that every single one that I've been doing recently is just amazing. And so, yeah, it's 100% functional. And now the whole bottom of the vehicle is now, like, when I was looking at it and stuff, like, it's just completely flat. That is so awesome. So yeah, I mean, but besides the functionality of it and all that, like, it looks so good on the vehicle. So that's why I love the fins. I love everything about it. So yeah, but with that being said, I really got to give a shout out to Sean, man. Thank you so much for helping me with this. We stayed late tonight doing this. I had a blast, like, doing it the entire time. We were having fun and stuff, but at the same time, you already put in an entire work day, and then you stayed an extra like 2.5 hours with me to do that and stuff. So dude, Love you, bro. Like, thank you so much for that. It was awesome. It really, really, really means a lot to me. So thank you for doing that. Oh, and the 20-minute install, like according to the instructions. Yeah, no, not at all. The bolts alone for the first bracket take forever. Like I said, you have no room to get a socket in there, so you're not gonna be, ratcheting that thing away. So you can get like like a wrench up in there, but then you're literally just like moving it like literally like this the entire time until you got to get the full length of the bolt out to put that in. And then you got to do the exact same thing to put the bolts back in. So it took so long to do that. But yeah, so that ate up time. And then like I said, a lot of the holes aren't going to match up. So you're going to have to re-drill in that case. And then also, what else was it? Oh yeah, you're gonna need a drill bit to open up a couple of the, like on the underside of the, not underside, but the entire diffuser and stuff, right? Like where there's openings for certain bolts and stuff. Those bolts aren't gonna go through, and so you don't want to damage the threading. And if you don't want to do that, then you're gonna have to use a drill bit to widen the gap. So yeah, so all that stuff, I mean, I didn't even have that stuff here at the house. I wanted to do this by myself, like maybe raise the back end and do it. I wouldn't have been able to. So it's just little things like that, yeah, you don't see. It's nothing major. Like, I mean, like I said, the diffuser's just, it's made perfectly. Like everything lines up. Like 99% of it all lines up. It's just, you gotta modify a couple little things. So just keep that in mind. I'm so gullible, I guess. Every single time something says full bolt on, no problems or anything, I'm like, oh, awesome. All right. Yeah. And it never turns out that way. I'm going to end the video there because I'm exhausted. But I've got 2 shows coming up this weekend. But then there's a really cool Porsche event happening at GTP's I can't even speak, I'm sorry. At GTP's this weekend. They're doing like a track day check or something like that, like like they got to check off, like make sure the Porsches have like, meet certain qualifications or whatever for them to run on the track and stuff. So it's being hosted at GTP's, which I think is fantastic. So I might either go to that or maybe one of the other shows or maybe both shows. I don't know. Like, it just depends on how the day is going to play out. And also, like, depending on what time I'm done washing the car and whatnot. So I don't know what I want to film, but I definitely want to film something this weekend. So I'll probably be filming 1 or 2 different events this weekend, and I'll post that up. And then I want to do another install hopefully next week. And then I would have another install hopefully within another 2 to 3 weeks. It's GTP's is so booked, like solid, and they're booking like 3 weeks out in advance. So that's another thing. I mean, Sean saw that we weren't going to get this done anytime soon because they're just super busy. So he, was like, dude, I'll stay like after hours and stuff, and I'll do this with you. So this is why it was so meaningful to me. So yeah, but anyway, so since they're so, since they're so booked, I mean, I'm gonna see when I can get squeezed in. So it's nothing dire. I'm not like, oh my gosh, it can't be done tomorrow. Like, well, yeah, that is how I am on the inside. I am actually kind of lying right now, but yeah. So we'll see. So, anyways, all right, I'm done. All right, if you like the video, go ahead and click that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon. All right, see ya.